All right. It's Jared here from Crypto Plan. How is everyone going? Just thought I'd pop in for an update. As I said, I'm not jumping on regularly. There's no need for me to jump on here daily and tell you things are going to go up, things are going to go up, because it's a bit more of a macro view I'm taking. So I'm popping in just to let you know a few things I'm seeing, mainly in Harmony One, and then a couple of other indicators in the market that makes me think that uh, we're going to see a bit more strength in the altcoins in the weeks to come. Anyway, so let's get into it. And if before we do, please like the video and subscribe if you are into my analysis. Anyway, I am not going to beat around the bush here. I'm just going to remind everyone some kind of key indicators and key technical and techniques of technical analysis that I'm using to figure out what is going on. So our red line is the 30-week moving average. We're on a weekly chart at the moment. So I just want to remind everyone what happened. So during up until March 2021, we had a really amazing run in most of crypto. Um, it was a bull it was a bull run. It was we were in bulls were in control anyway. There was a lot of buying going on. A lot of money came into the market. Since then, since mid last year, we've pretty much been in a bear market. We've been in a sideways consolidation market. Yes, some things have popped off, but the whole market has been fairly weak. So if you had bought halfway through, halfway through 21, the chances are you're either kind of pretty sideways, maybe slightly up, right? So Harmony One is no different. But on the other hand, if you held out and waited and watched the chart consolidate and correct and go below this 30-week moving average and then buy on the breakout of volume here, around the 6th of September, so somewhere around there, when during this week when things really went up and pulled back. And if we go to a daily chart just to see what was going on there. So price broke out here on volume and then came back again. So at some point in that week would have been an ideal time to buy, and then you would have, if you got anywhere near the 30-week moving average around 10 cents there, you would have had a nice run all the way up to 39 cents. Which could have been a trade or, just a hold. So then it's pulled back to the 30-week moving average again. Another good time to buy, a good time to enter again, and things are moving out again. So I'm going to go back to the weekly candles just because they show us a clearer view. So good time to buy in, good time to buy in again. Volume wasn't quite there when it came back and tested the 30-week moving average, but because we're up above a 30-week inclining moving average, that says to me a hold. For Harmony One. And another thing I like is that volume doubled last week. So there's going to be at some point when most people holding Harmony One are in profit, and the buyers that continue to buy it will be in profit and things will go up. So you'll see that once this chart breaks out above 40 cents, you'll see a parabolic move to the upside, and my targets are very clear: 75 cents upwards to $1.10 and beyond. But that's my definitely large selling zone there. So that's the story there with Harmony One. Good volume coming in. Chart is bullish. Chart is above all its main moving average as far as I'm concerned for investing in this one. I just want to move over to one chart, the DXY here. So I think this is showing a lot of weakness. So there's been this kind of bullish little run, so that's been above. The dollar's been strong, so therefore speculative assets have been bearish. Gold, silver, Bitcoin, all those sort of things have been fairly sideways and bearish, while the dollar has been positive. I can see this falling down. This kind of candle here where it ran up and it got rejected and now it's closing very close to where it opened, tells me that next week we could see a breakdown of that 95.5 level, and then probably a sharp decline all the way back to 93, which is positive again for our speculative assets. So I just wanted to kind of put that on the radar. As far as the total cryptocurrency market, I think we had one last dip, like Bitcoin kind of had this dip here, and we got some kind of a recent shakeout now. For those of you that were surprised that Bitcoin went this low again, it's quite common when these sell-offs happen and a big wick comes down, that gap is closed again. So it's like a test, an indicator that that's where Bitcoin wants to go, where the price action wants to go, and then sideways action, a fake out, and then a pullback, and that wick has come down a little bit lower. And where is the price action right now? In and about around where that original wick was. So you can see that this happened several times over here. So a wick came down, then a larger wick came down to follow, followed by a wick slightly higher, and then price moved outwards there. So these bottoms kind of take a long time to play out. The next pump I see in Bitcoin is, it's kind of heading into not this week, next week, and heading on up towards, the 62.5 range, to round out this full topping maneuver. So, we had the 65, we had the 69, and then back down to the 63-ish. And then we'll kind of go and finish off and head into stage 4. So at the moment, this is a stage 3 topping maneuver, according to Stan Weinstein's stage analysis. So yeah, we'll hit that last kind of third top, which will be that triple top, and then then the only way to look for me is down after that. The only way that I see it potentially playing out any differently is if it just hovers along that 30-week moving average and just wiggles its way along for a long time, whether it be a year or whatever, or half a year, and then it might try and make another high. But generally, this top has come in. You're going to see it come around, and then I believe it's going to come down very quickly down to these levels again here of sub 30. But once it breaks that level, all-time high is the next stopping point. So 20,000 is probably on the radar, and then we'll see what happens then. Fundamentally, yes, there's lots of arguments, but technically that's just what the chart says, that a lot of buyers came in here. If they've all sold and people are holding these bags up the top, once it falls, they're going to get out. They're going to escape. They're going to exit, which is going to, make selling. And that'll be no different to any other Bitcoin bear market where 80 to 90% retracements are normal. Just a couple of things I want to put on the radar as well. Just notice Chainlink has popped with large volume. Sorry, it hasn't popped that much percentage-wise, but a massive volume increase there. So this is a good indicator, and I would hesitate to say anything but the probability is that Chainlink will break out of this downtrend. So I wouldn't be surprised that this candle will close today, the weekly candle will close this week, and then the next candle will be a nice bullish candle again, and will break out. Once we get above $38 there, the sky is kind of again in your favor, as in like everyone is in profit, everyone's buying in bullish. If the volume keeps up, that's great as well. So Chainlink, and then ICP as well, big massive volume increase. Kind of found bottom, real rounded out bottom there. Once this wedge is broken to the upside, this volume stays in, the candles be bullish again next week. Could see some decent price action to come in ICP. So it's been a long time coming for that. I kind of studied that earlier. I did think it would correct a lot quicker, but I guess it's done exactly what the rest of the market's done and been very bearish up until now. But it's looking bullish again. I love to see volume from the previous week doubling, like with a green candle, because that's the first sign that a big price move's happening, and that possibly that like new money's flowing back in, or people are going into the trade again. So that's very positive, and you can see band protocol a little bit similar, as in a large volume increase, but not as clear as Chainlink there. So Chainlink has a clear doubling of its volume for the last 10, 20, 30, 10, 30, 10 or 20 weeks. So it hasn't been anywhere near as high as that since May in 2021. And then even more so, probably hasn't been like that since January in 2021. So good volume coming back in on Chainlink. So there's something going on there, and the buyers are about, which is great. So that's pretty much the story there. One last thing, Hathor Network. So another good story there, even though it's a corrective candle. So it's a, kind of a bearish candle last week. It's consolidating above a 30-week moving average, good volume. So they're a mixture of buyers and sellers. So there's a bit of indecision in that market. But once again, once those sellers are exhausted, I just think this is going to be a natural correction. So like 1, 2, 3 will be the next wave. So it's basically still completing wave 3. So it's still, even though it's broken down out of this channel, I think that is slightly a fake out of sorts. Fake to the downside. I believe that it'll keep following this fractal of some sorts and head on up there. I think what has going on, I've seen a lot of bullishness on Twitter of like a halving, this thing can only go, it's going to fly, it's going to fly, it's going to fly. Sometimes when things are too bullish on Twitter, that's when the arbitrage happens and people go like, everyone's going in to buy, I'm going to sell with that strength, if people had been in down here. So, take with it what you may, but like I think that's just temporary selling. I don't think it's going to be long term. So it's still well above our last dip, 93 cents. So that's positive news, and it's still above kind of a resistance / support line. So it's resting on this level here, which I see as an area. 135 there is an area where support has come in, and it will come in, and it'll continue to go higher. So keeping an eye on Hathor Networks as well, and I've got the targets there. I've actually got some sell orders in just under $4 on my bag at the moment, and on One Harmony got an 80-cent sell order. So have begun to put in sell orders just in case things do get crazy and run and I'm not watching. At least I take some profits out of the market. So that's the story there. But other than that, like a nice green day all around, and I've just showing you a couple of the winners that I think are going to lead, the altcoin pack out of this. So, One Harmony, Hathor, Link, Chainlink, and ICP may kind of show us something. So, volume is a good indicator of price action to come. So doubling of volume is a really good thing. Anywho, I'm just going to leave it there. That's about all I really had to update. I'm saying it's good to see some volume come back in. It's not kind of accumulation, low volumes. It's starting to get into bullish buying volume, which is a good thing. I'm sure there's other coins out there that are looking similar to that, but I think the only other one I'd seen recently is some good volume come in on Kyber Network. Is that the one? Kyber Network. Yeah, so good volume coming in on that as well, but that's below a moving average, so it's still a little bit bearish there. But other than that, that's the story for me. I've been Jared. This has been Crypto Plan. Hope you're doing well. Hope your bags are packed and ready to just catch this last little, what do they say, the 90% in the last 10% of the move, so it's such a short little burst that's going to happen, but it'll be basically as a result of rotations or people trying to chase chase those big gains at the very end. So anyone that's been holding for a long time really reaps the rewards there, and it's a reminder just to sell into that strength rather than kind of trying to sell into the retracements of that. Cool. All right, I've been Jared. This has been Crypto Plan, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.